Well, it's storybook time again. Another painting that would fit just right in a fairy tale right before you go to sleep. A storybook type piece here. I really like this. Really stimulates the imagination. And kind of a pleasant, it can be like a pleasant bedtime story, or maybe a little spooky. It just depends on what kind of thought comes into your mind and how this painting could go. This painting is definitely worth many stories, so let's get deep into this somewhat and kind of pick it apart, and I'll tell you why I painted it, go into the inspirations, and it should be a good painting for tonight's episode, so let's get into it. Yeah, this is a painting I really like. It's that whole kind of fairy tale storybook type painting that really stimulates the fantasy part of the imagination. The moon has a face and it's resting, almost like in the palm of the cloud's hand. The cloud almost looks like the palm of a hand, or like it's grasping. This cloud looks like it's grasping the moon. The moon is pleasantly sleeping within the clouds. I did that to give it a lot of style and character. I think it's a real nice touch. I really like that. And then this character here, he's obviously tired. He needs some sleep. He's yawning. It's probably late at night in this enchanted wood. Let's get a little closer look at him and his expression. Yep, he seems tired. Who could blame him? It's late at night. I really love the style of the castle. I really like the design, the fine point here, and then the design of the top. Really think it has a lot of style and character. I'm happy with this one. And then I made this character exaggerated. There's a lot of impressionism in this painting. I made him quite a bit bigger than he should be for the castle's size. I did that on purpose to give him more style, more personality. I love the vines or the foliage hanging down from the wall of the castle right there. I love how that's hanging down. And then over here and here, and I believe, yeah, it's on the other side too. Got the door, really nice style to the door. I like how these bricks, these stones form the castle. I put all little types of bricks in here with these little designs, and you can see the lines where they were laid here, and then the foundation down here. Then I put rocks. Then a trail leads you into some enchanted woods. Who knows what's in this forest? Could it be the werewolf? Could it be the witch? Who knows? Your mind can take you in so many different directions. It's another thing I like about these fantasy paintings. Makes them even more enjoyable. I'm really happy with the trees. I like the shapes of the trees. How they go in, the branches grow and go in so many different directions, and coming out from the tree trunk here and kind of wispy going into the foliage. You got all these leaves. Really like that. You got multiple paths you could take. I'm counting at least 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, but it's connected, so it might look, yeah, I really like that. It's probably more than that back there. Thinking he's up late at night, and then he got up Maybe he gets up often in the middle of the night. He might have heard the wolf howling, even though there's no werewolf, there's no big bad wolf in this painting. There could be, because it kind of fits into that category. And I put all types of shapes, and designs to the stars and the light, the wavelengths and the light coming from the stars and the wavelengths. You got stars of all different shapes and sizes. There's a lot of impressionism in there. And it almost looks like diamonds, just the way they shine. There's so many of them. I don't know if you've seen so many stars clustered together, whether it's in real life or in books, but all the shine and the wavelengths that come from them kind of has that effect, but it's exaggerated in this painting. There's all types of shapes to the stars here. Makes it look more magical, I think. Could be a giant or maybe he could be a giant. That's another way. I never planned on that, but when I was painting it, I thought it's possible, because look at his size compared to the door. Maybe an average person comes up to here on it, but him, if he stood up it, he might be way up here. So he could be a giant. Or maybe there's a huge giant in these woods, or maybe the path takes you up into the mountains where there's mountain giants or frost giants. Who knows? The moon is really peaceful. And the clouds close to the moon are illuminated with a light the closer they get to the moon itself. Let's take a look at it closer. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I have other paintings too where the moon has expressions. Really like the tree trunks. That almost looks like a face with the mouth open, this tree. Like it has a personality. You have these flowers down here. I really like the flowers next to the trail. This path. Ooh. Almost looks like a face right here. An eye here, an eye here, and then a mouth, a little nose. I never planned it. I think I might have noticed it before, but not sure. I painted this painting probably maybe 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I'm guessing. Really like to go there though and visit. It's probably a pleasant place to sleep, just as long as there's not wild werewolves about and giants and maybe the undead, who knows, or a witch with magical spells. And oh, that's the last thing we need, is a cannibal witch like in Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, this is a painting that I appreciate a lot. It falls into the category of storybook, fairy tale, kind of Grimm's fairy tale genre. And I'll back up here for the full view. Way out. Yeah, it does look like a hand around the moon, I think. And maybe there is a wolf that'll come out of the forest and grab, he's wearing red. I never really thought about connecting him with Little Red Riding Hood, but he's wearing red. So maybe there's a wolf in his future, you never know. Or maybe he just can't sleep. He might have had a nightmare and he wants to go back because he's yawning. Yeah, there's so many different stories that could probably be made from this painting. It's a painting that is pleasant, a lot of impressionism. There's a little reality, but mostly it's just all style and character and impressionism. But going back to the inspirations, Jack and the Beanstalk, hearing the stories like Hansel and Gretel, all these different stories like Rumpelstiltskin, I think also, if I'm saying that right, and just growing up watching movies in the different versions of Hansel and Gretel too, and then watching werewolf movies and movies about giants are all inspirations for this. But I think Sleeping Beauty, even though the characters are different in here, that was probably another inspiration for this because it fits into that category. Yeah, we're going into the forest, and then I have to mention Ghosts and Goblins, the old Nintendo game that I grew up playing. Yeah, I really like that game. I mean, this painting is different, but the trees are kind of similar. I think this painting is similar to that in certain ways, but very different also. There's no ghosts in here, but there could be. Could be ghosts that roam the forest, especially at night. And even though Ghosts and Goblins was not a heavy inspiration in this painting, it definitely had an influence, because anytime I paint a painting like this, that video game is always on my mind. Ghosts and Goblins, and then I think part 2 was called Ghouls and Ghosts. I think the trees are probably inspired by those games more than anything else in this painting, because that's where it's got that similarity, I think, more than anything else. Really like the doorway to the paintings. Maybe he's got his own collection of paintings. I like to think there's giants and witches in there and werewolves. And then a knight. Maybe he's got a sword in there so he can protect himself. Maybe there's knights that'll come, that'll help. But he's tired. He's got to get some sleep. And if it's late at night where you're at, so do you. I hope you enjoyed looking at this painting with me. I know I enjoyed painting it. And if you like this video, consider subscribing and hitting the like button. And the plan is to be back with you soon with another video. And in the meantime, take care, everybody, and have a good night. Sweet dreams.